Morning everybody, how are you all doing this morning? Chris Peel here from Property Abundance. And this morning I just wanted to take 5, maybe 10 minutes just to sit down, have a cup of coffee, have a chat with you guys and share some of the learning that we've had over the last few years in our own property business. So if you've got your cup of coffee, cheers. If you haven't, why not? Grab one. They're great. But today is all about systemization and outsourcing, because everyone who gets into property is usually doing it for a reason. We're usually doing it because we want to build something that's not just another job. It's something that's going to release us from the job that we want to get out of. It's generally a path to not only financial freedom, but freeing up our time and our lifestyle. And I can see a couple of my business partners watching right now. So hi Toby, hi Neil. Good to have you guys on board. So I'm actually going to tell a story from mine and Toby's business up in P&H Homes. So Toby is working he runs a Hertz enterprise up there as well. But the whole point of getting into property was to get him out of that and to get him into a property business. But as we've grown, the number of tenants that we've had and the number of the day-to-day tasks has grown as well. So although Toby's been managing it super well, hi Mita, great to have you on. What we've started to find is that people who don't show up for viewings, people who don't show up to check into the property when they're supposed to, all of this eats into your time, it eats into your day-to-day. So what's really important is when you start to notice this in your business and you start to notice that you're getting short of time and starting to work another job, then it's really important to take action and do something about that. So this is where systems and processes and having agreed policies and stuff on things really helps you to guide your own time. So just sticking with this example, what Toby and I have done, because he was having a lot of trouble with people not showing up on time for check-ins, meaning that he then was late for the next check-in appointment because the first person didn't show up at the right time to check into their room, so then he was running late for the second person, and ending up spending many more hours doing the check-ins than he actually wanted to be. What we've done is we've redesigned the process. So this could be a great top tip for you actually in your own property business, is that as you grow, start to notice these things that are absorbing your time. So if we take this example, what we've done instead of saying, right, hey everyone, we'll show up at a time that's convenient for you, we'll try and be everything to everyone and make everyone happy. Well, instead of that, what we're going to do is say, well, no, actually, look, if you were checking into a normal house, if you just got an AST on a single let house, you wouldn't be met at the house by the agent. So instead, you'd have to go to that agent's office. So what we've done is we've flipped it around and we said, well, look, why is that any different for a room? Like, I can't see any reason why that's different for a room. So instead, let's get the tenants to come to our office, and our office is wherever Toby happens to be that day. So hi Anselm, by the way, good to have you watching as well, mate. I hope you're well. So that means that it saves loads of time, because instead of having to find the keys, get in the car, drive to the property in question, unlock the room, and then sit and wait for the person who could then be an hour late, and then drive back and go to his next appointment, Toby can be doing whatever he wants to do, whatever he's got to do that day. The tenant will now come to him, and if they can't, let's say they don't have a car, okay, cool, we've got another solution for that. We'll put a lockbox on the front door, and it'll be in the lockbox, so you do a self-check-in. So it means that we've effectively saved him hours every day just by this simple process change. But the way that we got there was by looking at what's taking the time. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Looking at what's taking the time out of his day, figuring out what we can do about it, and then putting a policy and a process around that. So to back all this up, what we've done is we've written a letter that goes to the tenants that explains exactly how they have to check in. And this was all learning from my service accommodation business, because if you're running an SA business and you want to do meet and greets, it very quickly gets out of hand. And either you need to outsource that, which is pretty expensive, or you need to figure out a way of doing remote check-ins. So it's exactly what I did. So I just took the learning from one business and applied it to my joint venture business. And that means that now not the guests, that's SA, the tenants for our HMOs now get a clear letter saying exactly what to expect when they're checking in. They get the contact details of the person they have to call on the day, and then they arrange the location with that person. They get clear instructions that if they're late for their booking or they're late for their check-in, we have a lot of other check-ins to do these days, so If they're late, I'm sorry, but you've missed your check-in time, you need to reschedule. And that might sound harsh, but the harsh reality is that if you don't have a strict policy and stick to it on stuff like this, you're going to be a busy fool running around chasing after your tenants. So you need to be very clear with them, very fair, but very clear, and say, this is how it works, this is the process, just follow that. Now that's saved hours and hours of time, but that's just one tiny part of the process. Now this is all of this is covered within the Complete Property Millionaire System home study program that I run. But I do like to share little nuggets of these things from there, just to help you guys out on your kind of your day-to-day looking at your business and figuring out maybe, this is actually a bit of a problem for me at the moment. Maybe I can implement something similar. But other things that you really want to take account of are what we call the low-value activities. So this is stuff that you can get outsourced very cheaply. So things like cleaning the houses. Now, I'm not saying that cleaning is unimportant, quite the opposite. It's incredibly important when you're running an accommodation business, But you don't want to necessarily be the person doing that work, because if you're saving £10 an hour by doing your own cleaning, you could be missing out. And if you've seen my 10 agents article where I sourced £45,000 worth of annual turnover from an hour's work, that's the potential loss of value that you're missing out on by trying to save this £10 an hour. So does that make sense? Like, you're saving £10 an hour, but you could be missing out on 45 grand a year just by trying to save that £10 an hour. So it's really important to make sure that you're focusing your time on what we call the higher value tasks. These are things like networking, these are things like talking to investors, things like looking for the next deal, all the stuff that's going to help grow your business, and processes as well, by the way, fit into that perfectly. So I spent a lot of time yesterday just writing up this new process for P&H Homes, mine and Toby's business. But that's high value stuff, because we do the work once, and it takes time, sure it does, but we do the work once, and then it saves us time for the next however many years that we run that process. So it's really high value stuff. So that's all for today, guys. So if you've got your coffee, cheers. Hope you all have a really great day. But make sure when you are looking in your property business, look for these tasks that are repetitive, things that you can either automate, outsource, and spend your time doing the stuff that's going to build your business instead of the stuff that's going to run your business. So have a great day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.